Alright, so last night, as I was walking home, you already know this.
I already know this. I got a message and I was like, oh. I was at work and I was like, oh.
So where we work, it's on top of a massive hill. And as I was walking down the hill, I literally made it to the bottom and I slipped.
Wait, where was it?
Mm?
It was just outside work.
No, it's when you go like down the hill, you know where the traffic lights are?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there.
Oh, that hill nearly killed me as well.
Yeah, well, it did kill me. Then I was resurrected. So I was walking and I fell sideways. like one foot just like slid under the other, knocked it off, and I just went sideways. Landed on top of my phone.
Oh.
My phone was miraculously unhurt, which was the only thing I cared about.
That is good.
Yeah, but doing that kind of saved me, because all that happened was my thumb was pretty much the only thing that properly grazed the ground.
Yeah.
However, while I'm walking home, I'm feeling something like very like sticky on like my knee area, just like, oh no, I've probably like majorly cut my knee open. Our lovely other flatmate bandaged me up and everything, and that was all that, we cleaned it and everything.
Sweet.
And then just like, oh, I should probably check and see if my legs are okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they're like my main selling point.
Your main selling point is your legs.
Yes.
Are you gonna insure them?
Indeed I am.
You're gonna insure your legs. Like Rihanna.
After tonight's experience, I think I have to. So I started taking off, like, first it was my trousers, then it was my jogging bottoms, then my tights, then my pyjama bottoms.
Jesus, 4 layers.
I know.
Toasty.
I mean, it saved me.
Yeah.
It saved me because I just was, oh, hold on, my knee's not cut. It was just very sweaty.
The sweat saved you. Just,
it did.
All the sweat under those 4 layers of trousers just fucking lubricated.
The thing is, it also shows like how powerful the mind is, because I thought, oh shit, my leg is bleeding, and I was literally limping home.
I mean, you probably bashed it a bit.
Yeah, maybe. But, fine now, not dead.
All good.
Yeah, thankfully.
Lovely housemate bandaged you up.
Yeah.
What a sweetheart. This is why we keep them around.
Welcome back to the Comfy Coven.
Yeah.
I'm your host, Jake, a self-identified whatever.
And I'm your second host, Vic, a fan of the goose.
They met a person with a goose last night. Not
goose.
An actual goose.
I met a goose man. Like Goose Game. It was a plush of a goose game, and he just had it in his coat, and I was like, I need to get to know this individual right now. And then we played beer pong, and it was lovely.
Aww.
And he kept being like, Vic, come on! And I'm like,
and
yeah.
Today,
Yes.
we're doing a video that I have wanted to do with this guy for a long, long time.
This guy?
Yeah, because
This guy.
this is actually quite a nice thing.
Yeah.
Because it's now been over a year since your first appearance on the channel during the Nightmare Ned video, where we watched the episode Girl Trouble, which was from the 90s, and it kind of touched on, a lot of, like, trans experiences.
Yeah, I remember that. Proud of myself for the video as well.
Yeah.
Some good discourse.
And I said one thing I really wanted to do now was show you a recent released epised of the Disney Junior show Muppet Babies, which is a reboot of the show from the 80s, the cartoon.
Yeah.
Well, 80s, 90s, somewhere around that time frame. I released a video watching this episode because this is an episode that talks about gender nonconformity and how we shouldn't, assign gender to clothes because they're pieces of fabric that society has decided, oh, this piece of fabric is for boys, this piece of fabric is for girls, and it's all so meaningless.
Well, yeah.
Yes,
It
was...
clothing only means something to the individual, so you have to personalise it.
And this is pretty much coming out at the same time as my Muppets in Space video, which also talks about Gonzo and his identity and goes into all this and why, he is the favourite Muppet amongst the LGBTQIA plus community.
Gonzo is the icon.
Gonzo is...
the icon, the moment,
my soul.
The ruler of our souls.
My role model.
Our role models.
Yes.
Yes.
And this is just such the perfect extension of how his character has been portrayed since the 70s when the Muppet Show came out, because, he's always been wearing dresses, he's always never been afraid to confront the, the societal norms. Yeah, he's always been against being put into a box, and his identity as a whatever, it applies to him, his gender, basically his entire being.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't care about labels.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's something that's very inspiring about him. And of course, we can't talk about this episode without bringing out this guy.
Special little guy.
Yes. Gender reveal party. It's a whatever.
Yes. I love that.
Yeah, you don't get to see him in the background of a lot of my recent videos because I'm mostly like in front of him because of how small this desk is compared to my old one.
Cute. I love the
So
little
just wanted this
there.
chance to show him off and like all my little decorations. Like I put my old ace necklace around him and my old little pride
I love this. So many trans guys dress like this as well.
I know. I need to get more.
It's
Once we
giving
go back to that.
euphoria.
Once we go back to that shop where we get all our pins and necklaces and all that stuff from, I need to get more.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean, we could say that.
We can say the place because it's nowhere near where we live.
Affleck's Palace.
Yeah, in Manchester.
Everybody loves Affleck's Palace in Manchester. Manchester's a very queer-friendly city, I think.
Yeah.
It's,
Well, I mean, it
fantastic.
does literally have a gay village.
It has a gay village. It has a very prominent gay village. It has a very like community kind of based gay village. And the way they do, I went to Pride there recently, like this summer, and the way that they do Pride over there is incredible.
I can't wait to go to Pride next year.
I know.
Because I haven't gotten to go because of the job I had when Pride was going on this year.
Yeah.
But now that I've got the new job, it's going to be a lot easier for me to
Yeah.
get time off to go to
Yeah.
Pride. Other than that, is there anything in particular you know about this episode
I've seen a few clips of it. I think I've seen a lot about like the way people are talking about it, the way people are like, oh my god, it was such a big thing for like queer people, especially like because it's a kids show.
Especially a Disney kids show,
Well,
like a
yeah.
Disney Junior show.
A Disney Junior kids, like a Disney Junior show that like is for kids, and like it's talking about these things in like an open, not like a, hey, maybe there's a hint of it queer about this one.
Yeah, it's not
it's
coded.
like it's fully like, hey,
yeah,
this is a thing. The other thing as well is like it wasn't self-congratulating, you know, it was just they just did it.
Mm-hmm.
And which is a thing that I really like. I don't like when TV shows are like, hey, guess what? We're releasing this article. This TV show's gonna have a gay in it. Whoa! Instead of like making themselves look better for it, they just did it.
Yeah, and the reason we're doing this now is because I wanted to do this for a while, but the final like straw is that we're not just talking about Gonzorella today.
Oh.
We're talking about the Emmy Award-winning episode, Gonzorella today. This episode won the first ever Kids and Family Emmys, which is going to be a yearly thing from now on.
I like it.
The Emmy for Outstanding Writing for a Preschool Animated Program.
Oh, fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
And that is the other thing that makes me really happy. It's like it's talking about this facet of life, and it's talking about the like clothing and, you know, coding that comes with clothing, but it's still good writing. We get the good writing, like the good writing that wins awards. Come on, this is great.
All right,
This is what we deserve.
So let's just get right into this. All right, here we go.
Okay, let's go.
And we are watching Muppet Babies, Season 3, Episode 19A, Gonzorella. In 3, 2, 1.
I love how we say 3, 2, 1, then we wait for the TV to load.
Yeah.
Keep this bit in.
Oh, yeah, I will.
Staring at the screen.
Yeah.
Look at that disc just go round and round. Ooh. Oh.
Muppet Babies, they make our dreams come true. The theme song absolutely slaps.
It's so sweet.
Muppet Babies, they'll do the same for you.
I love the rainbow in there as well.
Mm-hmm. What's the Rainbow Connection? Sailor Moon transformation.
Oh.
Get it? Because Gonzo, chickens. Because the whole episode is about, you know, rejecting what has always been the norm and doing things your own way.
Yeah. You could go your own way.
Go your own way.
Oh.
I'm crying again. I've seen this episode already. See, you see where this episode's going?
Yeah.
See, because the rule book is so restricting and doesn't allow them to express themselves.
Yeah. Everyone knows in a promenade you just need to yell promenade.
Yeah. Do you notice the gender neutral pronouns? Oh.
Oh. Oh. Oh, so sweet.
One thing I don't think I mentioned in the original video, but something that's always been in the back of my mind, whenever they do the transformation, I hear a little bit of Little Mermaid in there, because it's like the ba-da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
Yeah. Oh, it's so
It's just the fact it uses all these classic, like, Disney and fairy tale tropes
Yeah.
with this concept.
Yeah.
And it's
And
because it's that thing of showing, like, we do all this with straight couples, we do all this with heteronormative characters and all this stuff.
Yeah.
What's the difference here? Why does there
Yeah.
have to be a difference here?
Yeah, exactly. I also like that they made it so that they keep coming back to this handbook and it becomes exhausting to the viewer. That it's like, oh, but the handbook says, and no one's having any fun with what the handbook
Because even the people
says.
that are sticking to the handbook don't find it fun.
Yeah, they're not enjoying it.
Because it's limiting. It doesn't allow for them to
Yeah.
express themselves the way they want.
Like it's sort of delivering self-expression as freedom, which I think, you know, makes a lot of sense. Really,
Well, no,
because it is freeing.
No, because I
to be
saw
able to
a
express yourself.
TikTok that made me think of this, where it's
Yeah.
talking about once you come out the closet, you realise that there are so many other closets that everyone is in.
Yeah.
But the difference is with LGBTQIA plus people, once they come out, of the one
Yeah.
closet, they realize how stupid all the other ones are, and it's so much easier for them to live freely, which is why that culture is so much different to straight culture.
Yeah. Well, yeah, this is the thing. It's like you're not just freeing yourself from the constraints of like like sexuality or gender. You're freeing yourself from like the constructs that surround those things as well. There are plenty of different constructs that surround those things. But once you find yourself through like self-expression and self-exploration and understand these things, you can be free of so many more different like boundaries and things like that. So, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
And I think this is the thing that like is great about this as well, because it's like it shows. It's like, a lot of homophobes will constantly be like, oh, you can't show this to the kids, it's all about sex. It's like, no, because you're putting it into one small box. You're saying this is all that the LGBT is about, but it's not just about that. It's sexualizing.
If you see a child wanting to wear clothes and think that there's something sexual about that, the issue is with you.
Well, yeah, definitely. The issue then is something deep-seated in that person. And they talk about, people who are so against gender nonconformity, who are so against LGBT identities and LGBT people being able to express themselves. These people have closeted themselves in so much, and they're not healing from the pain of not being allowed to explore for themselves for so long, that they feel endangered when they see other people being free in their self-expression, and they feel endangered by that, and so it triggers this kind of innate response in them that if they were just able to learn something from trans and non-conforming people, then they'd be able to set themselves free of these things. And this is what we're trying to do. We're not trying to sexualize anybody. And a lot of the sexualization comes from the other side, really, doesn't it? So we're trying to set people free of the boundaries and the constrictions that they put on themselves. That's what self-expression is about. And that's what this is about. It's beautiful. I love it.
Yeah, and it's just the fact that they don't go into those things because they don't need to. It's just this simple story. It's just,
this is the thing. It is a simple story because it's not necessarily about you have to identify a certain way to be able to do these things. You can be you can be cis and you can be straight and you can be a young boy and you can still wear dresses, and that's fine, and it doesn't mean anything other than you like to wear dresses.
Because it's like I said at the beginning, it's just fabric.
Yeah.
Just because people hundreds of years ago decided that, oh, this fabric is for these people, this fabric is for these people, it doesn't matter.
But even then, it's within history. Like, this is a very recent history as well. These constraints that people as a society we've put on ourselves are very recent. Pink used to be for boys before in the Victorian era.
Yeah, and boys used to wear dresses.
Boys used to wear dresses all the time. These are, the clothing that we wear is evolving over time completely, and it's just recent years that these gender roles have been decided. So we can't necessarily just allow ourselves to be restricted by those. And obviously, maybe in the past there were restrictions as well, like, oh, men have to wear heels. Obviously, it's less about that these days. It's more about
what
you are
feel
who
like.
you are.
Yeah.
You wear what you want to wear to express yourself. You feel more human. It's whatever you need to make yourself feel more human, rather than having to play to something that you feel you have to do. Why not just express yourself?
Yeah, and it's the whole thing about teaching kids from this early age to be comfortable with exploring those parts of themselves.
We're undoing then the constraints that other people have put on themselves. We're undoing that pain that we people torture themselves with day in, day out, and the hyper masculine that you have to, if you're a man you have to be hyper masculine. We're undoing all of those things because we're saying we don't need to cause ourselves and our children this pain. A lot of us are trying to break free of those things, and a lot of it's unlearning those things, but we don't have to teach our kids those things. We don't have to have a world where those kids in the future have to unlearn those things. because they never had to learn them in the first place.
Yeah.
Self-expression is innate. It's something that you it's self-expression. It comes from within, you know?
Yeah.
And the constraints that we put on ourselves are learned. So if we don't teach it, they're not going to learn it.
Yeah. Because it's the whole thing. Kids are inherently accepting of people of differences and
this
all
is
that.
This is
it's
in this
because
episode as
that's
well.
what I love about this episode. Because even kids who come from those families who are going to try and teach them these prejudices and biases, there is a chance.
They don't understand why at that age. So another kid coming up and being like, "Oh, I'm a boy who wears dresses," they'll think, "Oh, maybe boys can wear dresses then."
Yeah.
You know? This kind of thing. Like, and people often say like, "Oh, kids are horrible." Kids are only horrible if they've learned those behaviours. Kids are very accepting. Kids are very naturally like want to explore. So why don't we let them? As long as they're safe, let them explore. Yeah. That's what I have to say.
I'm trying to think, because you absolutely Vick's on a roll today.
This is the sort of thing that I spend a lot of time thinking about and a lot of time reading and watching people talk about. So it's something that I'm very passionate about.
It's just how affirming it is for kids that also think this way but have already been taught. Like it's not okay to explore those feelings. You must just ignore them, repress them. Because just seeing this gives them hope, shows them it's not something only they're experiencing. Because especially when you're a kid, growing up in those kinds of communities, it is so easy to feel alone.
Well, yeah,
because it's like not until you actually go out into the world and start becoming your own person do you meet these other people and you realise, oh my god, there are others out there like me.
I would argue that it's that feeling of being alone that if it goes unaddressed basically creates people who are against gender nonconformity. People get through every time. Staying in there's many different ways it can happen. Sometimes those kids will rebel and just leave that place, or sometimes they'll just carry on doing whatever they're doing. Sometimes it ends up the bad way, and that's how things go. But we are undoing that.
Hopefully, one step at a time.
Shows like this are a good step because that you can show this to your kids. Your kids probably already feel the same way anyway. They probably treat their friends the same way anyway. But you can just show them that it's okay.
Because
just express yourself.
What is so wrong with teaching kids to love and accept people who are different from them?
What is so wrong about teaching kids to love and accept themselves? What is wrong about that? I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Just because it ignites this pain in yourself that you were never able to explore these things for yourself, why should you have to inflict that pain on somebody else?
I mean, could you imagine if we had these kind of things as a kid?
I mean, personally, I had a friend who's like a year older than me who lived down the street, and he was always getting like the princess dresses at the dress up box, and I think
I remember wanting my sister having like the Ariel dress and the Cinderella dress and wanting to put them on.
Some of my cousins used to all the time as well, and they didn't mean anything.
It's kids. Let them explore. Let them play.
They were allowed to do it, obviously.
Yeah. And it just reminds me, whenever I would play a video game with a girl main character, like this PS2 Disney princess game, where it's like you play this character and you travel into each of the princesses' world and help them with certain problems. Yeah. Just like, this is fun. This is the, and then because I'm just like, oh, I hope this doesn't awaken anything in me.
I hope it does awaken something in everyone. Yeah. Even
if that thing being awakened is a little more tolerance and respect.
That is that is a good that is a good note to end that on. I think that is perfect. I couldn't have put it better myself. Yeah. Oh, fantastic! Thank you for watching this.
Yeah. We feel good. We feel gay.
The genders are feeling warm.
I forgot to put on the ring light, so the lighting of this video is going to be awful. Sorry about that. Yeah, but it's like creates all these shadows on us, and it's a bit
ages us.
Yeah.
Who cares?
It's tell us down below. Even though you probably did when I made the original video, your thoughts on this episode and what we've had to say. if you're, and you say the word because I can't, the evangelical, is that it? Evangelical, yeah. Keep it to yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if you tell us we're going to hell, we know.
Nice and toasty.
We're excited about it because it's compared to you, it's amazing. And also, as I always say, if hell's where the gays are going, it's gonna be one hell of a party.
Well, that's where I'm going.
Yeah. Feels a bit deep for me saying this, but remember to love yourself. It's a very important thing to do. Just take a moment, whoever you are, whatever you do, just take a moment to look at yourself in the mirror and just think,
do I love myself?
Yeah.
Am I doing the best to show myself love?
That is a sexy beast right there.
Yes. Look in the mirror and say that. But also, I think, especially if you're one of the evangelicals, especially if you're seeing this video and feeling anger, you need to look in the mirror and think, why? Do I love myself enough?
Mm-hmm.
Am I showing myself enough love? And think again, maybe, before you write a comment.
Yeah. Am I angry because these people are having freedoms that I've never given myself?
Yeah. And I think, exactly. And I think maybe address that, but also love yourself.
Yeah.
We don't agree, and a lot of the time it feels like you're those are the people that are constraining us, but we love you. You're human.
Mm-hmm.
And you just need to find the ways to love yourself.
Yeah. It's simple. It's like,
really is simple.
It's like, really everyone is so obsessed with making this like bigger than it is, but it's just
love yourself.
Love yourself and mind your own business. It's that simple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sick. Have a good day.
Yeah.
Have a lovely day.
Don't know how to end this now. We've just gone off on so many different tangents, but they've all been kind of linked together. Thanks so much for watching, folks, and we'll see you real soon.
See you next time.